Hey, Queen. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I guess I'm not going to go live here. I was going to try to go live on Instagram, but I don't think it's going to work. So I'm not going to worry about it. Hello, Queen. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I want to talk a little bit this evening about 3 pillars in the Ifa-Orisha tradition: the curious and the called. We're going to have a good time. That's what I want right now, to have a good time. Who wants to have a good time? Hey, Keita May. Hi. Hello, hello. How are you all doing? So glad to be here this evening. So yeah, I am Tirra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. And I want to go into a small teaching and a little bit of a practice with this Ifa-Orisha tradition. I thought that, to me, experience is the only way with this tradition. And the more we talk and just kind of look at information, to a certain degree, the more we stay confused. There's not really any true spiritual growth and evolution. I see this as a very kinesthetic um, spiritual tradition. I think most are. You need to be doing something. It's like you have to experience the energy of the tradition in order to actually feel that change be affected in your system. And so I want to lead us through just a small teaching. Again, I'm doing this to a certain degree because I want to have fun. I like things to be easy and enjoyable. I don't think spirituality all the time needs to be so serious. I'm tired of people feeling like they just need to crack people wide open. I'm more about a gentle way of approaching spirituality and letting people just take from it what they need to take from it. Okay. So that's what I want to do today. I do want to just say hello to everyone who's here. Um, all the queens, Minister Ocean Kimmy, Keita May, Bliss. So happy to see you. Anyone else who might be here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let us just start off with one of the first things that we do in the Ifa-Orisha tradition is we call on the Orisha Eshu, also known as Alegba. And we call on this Orisha because we want the communication to be open. We want there to be, a flow between the Orisha and the heavens and those of us who are here in the physical experience. And so I've already lit a candle and called and invoked the energy of Eshu Alegwa to open the ways, to be here with us, to open the way for us to receive whatever it is that you are here to receive. Since you decided to watch this video, wherever you're finding it, I want the way to be open for you to receive something. And we just give thanks and honor to the energy of Eshu Alegwa, the messenger. And also, Eshu is all about helping us live in alignment with Iwa Pele also. So we give thanks to Eshu for that. Eshu is the keeper of the Ashe. Ashe is our life force energy. It's essentially what allows us to be here in manifest form. And so we give thanks to the keeper of the Ashe to be here with us, to help make sure that we use our Ashe in the best way possible. I have a little agenda so that I don't veer off too much because I'm a talker. And so, yes. So I want y'all to know something about this path. It is deep, it is sacred, and life-changing. the good news is, and I've been saying this, you don't have to be initiated to begin. And so today, I just want to do something that anyone can do. You could be initiated, not initiated. You could be interested, highly interested, curious. This is for you. So I want us to I want you to experience this tradition through three sacred pillars. They're not the only pillars, but these are the three top ones that I want to talk about today. And they help to ground each Orisha devotee. One of the things that I'm a little bit more into self-religion and doing things in a way that feels good to me. But one thing that I do love about structured spirituality is on my worst day, I have a way to ground myself. I have a I have a body of wisdom that I can look to, and it gives me a compass. It helps to take all of that scattered, my mind is scattered, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm distraught, and it helps to bring me back to myself so that it's at the very least I feel calm and grounded. And but maybe I'll be able to get myself in a place where it's like, okay, I know all of this is going on, but I now have something to do. I have a lot of times I look at it as a guiding light, a compass, something to hold me. And that is one thing I do love about religious traditions. Okay. My goal is for you to leave with clarity, peace, and a way to practice now. So that's what I want for you today. And so we've called on Eshu, we call on the ancestors. I'm touching and agreeing with your Oris, whoever is watching this, whether you're watching live or via the replay, your Oris are touching with mine and one another, that the only thing that will happen today will be for our highest and greatest good. It is important that you always feel safe and sovereign. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do in this moment, knowing that your Ori is guiding you and letting you know exactly what you need to do every step of the way. We honor the wisdom of the Orisha. We appreciate the Orisha. We give thanks for the Orisha. We give thanks for our ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon. We give thanks that our ancestors have called us into this space right here, right now. May every word be spoken and rooted in truth, clarity, and love. And so, yes, let us begin. Let us begin, Queens. So, pillar one that I want to talk about, I do have a few little. Hi, Winetta. How are you, Ia? She is a I like gentle too. Winetta is one of my sister priestesses. She initiated into Oya when I initiated into Yemanja. So we were birthed together into the priesthood. Okay, so I can't talk and okay, here we go. So the first pillar that I want to talk about today is the Ori. So the thing to remember about the Ori is the Ori is the first and most important Orisha. When none of the other Orisha wanted to come and be here with humans, it was the Ori who said, I will go, I will be with the humans. Okay. Each one of you gets your own Ori. I perceive the Ori to be your higher self. So it's that part of yourself that is outside of manifest reality. We all have a consciousness, and actually a huge part of the work we do in the Ifa-Orisha tradition is to get us open, our consciousness open, so that we are connecting with the Ori in a more conscious way, a more intentional way. Okay. So we are here. A lot of times we can hear the whispers of our Ori, but not everybody really has that part of themselves where they're like, I know that this Ori knows my destiny. This Ori came here just for me to support me on this journey. My Ori knows all of the struggles that I'm having and how I can get past these struggles. And what we want to do is get to that place where we are connecting to the Ori. It's just automatic. You don't need to earn the Ori. You want to just get in there and start working with the Ori. Okay. When you feel confusion, when you feel fear, when you feel pressure, call on your Ori. And the best thing to do is to connect with your Ori by um, doing small daily practices. And so, what I want you to do is if you have a bowl or glass of water, if you would get that, because we're going to do just it's not even the full on head blessing. I just wanted to keep this really simple, but we're going to do just a little bit of a head blessing, or we're going to do a head blessing. And the reason we do the head blessing is we take in so much into our Ori, and so into our consciousness day in and day out. There's so many different interactions. And what we teach in this tradition is that the Ori must be the way it's stated is propitiated. You have to do something for this Ori every day. And the best thing to do is to use water. And there's other ways that you can bless your Ori. We're just going to use it super simple water. Okay. And it's our way of making that connection with the Ori. So let's see here. I want you to go on ahead right now. Is just take a deep breath, inhale through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. I want you just to drop into your body. I love the Ifa-Orisha tradition is one of the best mindfulness practices you could ever participate in, because it is about getting present. And that is how we begin to get in touch with the Ori. So we just want to get ourselves centered. And I want you to take 2 fingers on each hand. And I want you to take those 2 fingers and I want you to dip them in that water. Okay. So we take those fingers and we dip them in the water. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to bless your crown. The crown is for sure, when we think about the chakras, that is where the higher spiritual energy is in our chakra system. And so for sure, our Ori is there. And we just want to bless our Ori. We want to bless the wisdom of our heads. Take a deep breath, long, slow, deep breath out. I want you to take your 2 fingers again, dip them in the water. And I want you to really just rub that water into your third eye, okay? We want to bless our spiritual vision. We want to bless the spiritual vision. The Ori means head. It means the head. And so what we're wanting to, or the seat of consciousness. And so what we're doing is connecting. That's why we're doing all of this here in the head area. We're connecting to our head, our Ori. And this is one of the most powerful places that we have, this third eye. It's how we can see. It's how we can connect with our Ori, the crown chakra, the third eye. This is how we connect with the Ori. The third place that I chose, I want you to dip your fingers again. And the last thing that we're going to do is I want you to take your fingers and I want you just to take them and swirl them on the outside of your face down to your chin. And I want you to bless your identity. Okay. I want you to bless who you are as an expression of divinity, an expression of Olodumare, who is the supreme deity in this tradition. I want you just to stop and take a deep breath in, inhale, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. And one of the things that is so important is just take a moment and be quiet and see what you can hear. I'm going to give you something to think about. What would change if you honored? This is not really what I want to ask y'all. I want y'all to just listen right now. What is your Ori speaking to you right now? If anything, after doing that head blessing, are you able to hear a message from your Ori? Or what are you sensing? What are you feeling? I feel more light. I feel more clarity. And so, one of the best things you can do after you bless your head, and this is one of the practices that I recommend you do at the top of your day. It doesn't necessarily mean morning, it just means at the beginning of your day. Because why would we do this at the beginning of our day? So that we have made that connection with our Ori and we ask our Ori to lead, guide, and direct us. So that is the first practice that I'm offering to you today. Greetings. How are y'all? Manuka Taro and Latanya. How are you all? Welcome. Okay, so we're going to go now, and I would love to hear if you got something and you feel comfortable sharing that. I would love to see your shares in the chat. So, pillar two is the ancestors. The ancestors are part of your spiritual foundation. Like, I can't even begin to express the importance of the ancestors and making connections with the ancestors. And I will say, I find that the ancestors are actually a little controversial because for some people, there's people like me who are like, I love the ancestors. I don't have no problem working with the ancestors. Yeah. And then there are some people who would say, I'm adopted. So, what difference does that make for me? How do I work with my ancestors? Or I come from bad people, right? How do I work with my ancestors? And the work around that, and as I see it, is just call on the ancestors of light. My teachings around the ancestors is that the ancestors are uh, they're not human anymore because they're not in physical form anymore. And so they have a level of, especially the enlightened ancestors, they have a level of evolution and growth and wisdom that it's like we need to trust that they know what they're doing is what I'm trying to say. So if we call on the ancestors of light, only they will come. This is my teaching. And this is what was taught to me, and I have found it to be true. If you're calling on the ancestors of light, those are the ones that are going to come. If you ever feel that there's a dark deceased ancestor hanging around you, you tell that ancestor or just a bad spirit, leave, get out of here. You cannot hang around me. I send you on your way with light and love towards your healing. And then I believe our ancestors teach us how to work with them. And so at some point in Ifa, we all have our own way of working with our ancestors. There's not just one way of working with the ancestors, okay? But I do want to offer a practice today that is, I'll just put this up while I talk, that I think is a safe one for everyone. And this quote, or not this quote, but this point that I'm making here is why I think they're so important. They have a vested interest in us. And this is why it doesn't matter if you're initiated into Ifa or not initiated into Ifa. This is a practice that you can do on the regular and honor them because they are your chief guardian angels. And I tell everybody, be Ma'at. What is Ma'at? Ma'at is actually out of the Egyptian tradition. She says, test everything. So I just encourage you, don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. If you want to see what it's like to work with the ancestors and you're not yet doing that, then, take some of what I've shared with you and just see how it works. If you're like, girl, this ain't working, then you can just go on ahead and dismiss whatever I shared. But I want you to get your water. And we're just going to pour libations for our ancestors of light. And you can just pour a little water. We're not doing full on libations because here lately, I've been doing the libations in in Yoruba, but I want you to know you don't have to do libations in Yoruba. That's one of the things that I'm going to teach in the Ileke Initiation. I will help people cultivate their own practices so that you do it in a way that feels comfortable. There's nothing performative that we need to be doing. So let's just keep it real simple. I just want you to pour out a little water, honor your ancestors, and open yourself to feeling that connection. So we pour honor water to honor our ancestors of light, ancestors of light. And we just give thanks in your own way. Give thanks to your ancestors for whatever it is that you want to honor your ancestors for. Give thanks to the ancestors. And I want you to open yourself up to a message from the ancestors. I came up with this question. So if it resonates with you, then go for it. What do your ancestors want you to reclaim? That's something that we can talk to the ancestors about. I talk to the ancestors about everything. But what's coming to me about this reclamation is there's a lot of us that have lost something, in this, through all the millennia that have been here. Something has been lost, and each one of us get an opportunity to reclaim something. So what would you like to reclaim? What would your ancestors like you to reclaim? Just take that moment to tune in. Are you picking up on anything? What would your ancestors like you to reclaim? It could be something material. It could be something more of like a quality or a trait. I think my ancestors are telling me they want me to reclaim an inner calm. One of the first readings that I got, it came back that I had dark deceased energy around me, and it was in the form of stinking thinking. I've never forgotten that reading. And so I believe that my mother struggled quite a bit with worrying, and I just think it's something that has been kind of rampant. These thoughts, this runaway mind, and so they want me to continue to reclaim my inner calm, my inner peace. Okay, so next is pillar 3, Iwa Pele. I talked about this quite a bit. The practice of good character. Actually, whenever I start talking about Iwa Pele, it's like a switch gets turned on inside of me because it is something I am so passionate about. I don't even have words. And I think it's because I've seen so much bad character, just in general and within the tradition. Why are we doing this if we're going to be why have this type of tradition if we're not going to show up and be better in life? And the question is, why do we need good character? We need good character because number one, it's a part of our spiritual growth and evolution. Many of us are here because there's something that we need to clear up. This is my belief. There's something we need to clear up. And part of that clearing has to do with how we are living. It has to do with character. Because a lot of times I subscribe to other lifetimes. Actually, Ifa is a tradition that is about the will of reincarnation and how do we escape the will of reincarnation. When I pour the libations and I say, Eriku Babawa, Eriku Iyawa, that means we're working to escape the will, WHEEL, of reincarnation. And so part of the reason we reincarnate is something was left undone. Or it's like we did something slim shady and we want to bring balance because that's what Ifa is all about. That's what character is all about. It's all about this balance and harmony. And so that's part of why Iwa Pele is so important. Okay. Good character. And the good news is The Orisha don't ask us to be perfect, only to walk in integrity and softness and truth. And so the Orisha, part of the reason we walk this path is to open up the way of working with the Orisha, along with the Ori and the ancestors, okay, to support us in developing and cultivating and expanding good character. So, what we're going to do for this one, I just want to share a little bit with you all, and then we'll do a quick reflection. So, first and foremost, we have Eshu Alegwa. And Eshu, how is he going to support you in character? And Eshu actually is both male and female, but we typically say he. I'm just going to be 100. But Eshu actually, all of the Orisha actually kind of have like a masculine and feminine expression. But uh, Eshu is for sure one of the ones that is both male and female. So Eshu is all about helping you to choose good character by standing at the crossroads and helping you to see how you're doing in your character. Okay. Abatala helps us because number one, good character will be cultivated through wisdom, and good character will be cultivated through having integrity. And so Obatala will support us in having good character in that way. Shango is all about, the way I like to describe Shango is, are you being a leader in your own life? Very, very important. And so Shango is about being that inner leader. It's about making choices actually to live in alignment with good character. If you find that you're out of alignment, then it's like, how do you make choices to change that, to shift that? Oshun helps us to celebrate beauty over negativity. She can help us to reframe and see things in a new way so that we can learn and grow. Okay. Also, last one, these are the ones that are the Orisha that you get through the Elekes, Yemaja. Yemaja, I believe this nurturance that she calls for is so important for Iwa Pele. I think that a lot of times we get a little bit off when we lack self-care and self-love. It'll make us get a little bit out of whack with our Iwa Pele. The other thing too is with Yemonja, if you do something that's out of alignment with good character, she's gonna love on you and just be like, all right, baby, we're gonna try this again. She'll never give up on you, just like a good mama, right? So that's what I love about that. Okay, let me see here. The question that I'm bringing up for you all is, where in my life am I out of alignment with my character? When I wrote that question, I was like, that's painful. I don't like that question. Where am I in alignment with my character? So, yeah, take time to write that down and journal on it. I encourage you to do that. Where am I out of alignment, excuse me, in my character? So I've been sharing everything, so I'll share the hard part too. Um, where am I out of alignment with my character? I think for me, I still maybe sometimes struggle. I've been working on this. That's why I'm kind of like, I've been working on being honest. I've been working on saying exactly what I think instead of trying to sugarcoat so that I don't hurt people's feelings and that kind of thing. And I still struggle a little bit because I am somebody who is like, well, live and let live. Or the other part is, it's kind of like I respect people, but sometimes it's like, you just need to say, you need to say what's on your mind. It might help them out, Tyra, right? And it's like, was I too hard? And did I say, like, I hope I didn't hurt their feelings? And most people ain't even studying me, right? So I would say that's where I'm continuing to work on saying exactly what I need to say in order to be fully honest. So that's what I will share in that regard. Um, so we talked about the Ori, we talked about the ancestors, and we talked about Iwa Pele. And you can put all of these into practice right here, right now. You don't need to do anything special. You don't have to initiate nothing. You can go on ahead and put those in right now. The last little bit that I want to share with you all is about the Odu. I pulled two Odu the other day when I was recording the other, or the other. I did a presentation the other day to talk about what it would be like to initiate with me, and do you know if it's for you or not? And I pulled actually Odu O'Shea, and well, not I say pulled because I'm so used to using cards, but I use my cowrie shells, and I got Odu O'Shea, and and I got it today. Also, I'm like, oh my gosh, Odu O'Shea. But also, I got Ogunda. Ogunda. So I just want to share a little bit about Ogunda. So the Odu are the wisdom texts that we follow. These help us to, say, for instance, understand what our Ori wants us to do. And because sometimes it helps to get a reading from some other place to get that guidance. And for me, I love astrology, but I also need something that's more. Astrology is spiritual, but I don't know. I just need things like the Odu to also speak to me. I love the Odu because it really feels like ancient wisdom. And while astrology is ancient, um, I like astrology, or I love astrology because it really and truly will give you, like, we can pinpoint when you're going to be focused on what. It makes it a little bit more specific. Are you going to like fully spiritually grow and evolve just getting astrology readings? They might point you to times where you're more spiritual, but I would want to have something like the Odu, these oracle readings. That's what I want to have in order to actually grow spiritually. So that's what the Odu are. The Odu also, may support you in working with the ancestors. They will, help you, because even the Ori and the ancestors want you to have Iwa Pele. And then, of course, the Odu will support us in living in alignment with Iwa Pele. The other big thing in Ifa is, what is your destiny? And so some of the Odu will be pointing you towards your destiny, and some of the Odu will be pointing you towards the things that, say, for instance, that whatever you need to reclaim, or how you need to, step more into life and be more of who and what you are, or it's about healing. The Odu are supportive in multiple ways. So let me just share a little bit with you about Ogunda. So Ogunda is the energy of Ogun. And Ogun is one of the warriors. He is protection. If you need the obstacle and the way to be cleared, Ogun is the one to call. So you can call on this energy of Ogun to clear the way. One of the teachings that I like to share about Ogun is the warriors in general. There's the enemy without, but there's also the enemy within. I loved hearing Iyanla when I first heard her say, the enemy is the inner me. And most of us can talk about how sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We're our own worst critic, right? And so sometimes we need Ogun to come through and help us to navigate that world, so that we'll stop the self-sabotage, so that we will, this is the energy of courage, so that we can have the courage to do the things that we know we need to do. Where do you need to be courageous right now? This is what Ogun will be asking you. And Ogun will clear that way, whatever's blocking you from standing in your courage. In the Soul Alchemy membership, one of the things that I'm talking about right now is the importance of being bold. And so Ogun is the energy of boldness. Where are you not being bold where you should be bold? How do you need to step more boldly into life and just live life full out? This is what Ogun wants to do in terms of clearing the obstacle out of your way. Now, the other thing too, I think about the Stoic that I listened to, and he says the obstacle is the way. When we were being raised up as kids, a lot of us heard this teaching. God may not take us around the mountain. The mountain may not be moved out of our way, but give us the power and the courage and the wherewithal to go through that mountain. Maybe we need to go up that mountain. This is what Ogun supports us in doing. It's like, hey, when you need to just do it, I guess Ogun is the energy of Nike. When you just need to do it, Ogun is the energy that will support you. And so Ogun is speaking to some of y'all because this, and me included, this Odu came in negative. It's like speaking to the negative. It's like some of us are lacking courage. Some of us are lacking, this is drive and passion. And that is something that we need to be addressing in our lives. This is energy and action. So where do you need to take action? Um, One of the things that I've also learned is Ogun is the energy of protection, and that protection is conferred when you live in alignment with universal law. And what I want to just add or just blend in right now is when you live in alignment with good character. And I needed to hear this. When you maintain that good character, divine protection is conferred. Okay. The guiding instruction of this Odu is that abundance can be found at home. Any struggle which pulls you away from home is pulling you away from your destiny. And so Ogun is all about being focused. And you need to be focused. What he says is you need to be focused on that which you have is important for you. Home is home, family, but it's also what are you in charge of? What are you supposed to be focused on? Are you getting distracted looking all around at and taking care of everything and everybody else? So, in order to not be pulled away from your destiny, stay focused on what you are supposed to be focused on. All right. And that's what I have for us this evening. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I had said I was going to sing a song because I will say part of this tradition is very much the into music. So I'll just do a little bit. Y'all know I'm a little shy, but I don't have to sing well. I don't have a good singing voice, but I'm gonna just do this one little Yemoja song that I love. Kai kai kai, Yemoja lo kai kai kai, Iyami lo kai kai kai, Yemoja lo kai kai kai, Iyami lo kai kai kai, Yemoja lo kai kai kai, Iyami lo. All right, I did it. I did it. Ogun is proud of me for facing my fear of singing in public and perhaps messing up the words. You're so welcome. I'm so happy that you all are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you look in the description box and you want to learn more about the Ileke initiation, for those who want to join me, there's a link in the description box. Go to the All Access page. It's on my website. And then there's also, you can come into my Mighty Networks. And there's a little treat that I'm putting together, and I'm going to start it there in my Mighty Networks pre-initiation temple. So you can join me over there. Essentially, what I want to do is to put together something that will support you, whether you join me or not, which I hope you do. But whether you join me or not, I want to give you something to work with because this tradition belongs to the world. We give thanks to the Orisha. We give thanks to the ancestors. to Oludumare, to the ancient mothers and the great mother goddess herself. We give thanks that you have allowed us to remember this tradition, that despite that terrible transatlantic slave trade, you knew we were going to need you. You knew we were going to need you here in 2025 and beyond. And so I give thanks that you have given me the ability to open the doors to people who want to be a part of this tradition, who want to be healed and held and guided and grow even through the Ifa-Orisha tradition. And yes, we just give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, thank you all. Let me turn on a little music. Y'all know I love music. I'm trying to keep this short, which is something that is unheard of for me, but I'm going to do it. But let's turn on just again. I love this kind of African music. We give thanks. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Hey, 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 hey. We give thanks. So grateful. So grateful. I felt so lost before I found this tradition. I wanted to know, who were my ancestors and what did they do? What did they believe in? So grateful. So grateful. Give thanks. Give thanks. I'm still here. Once you get to this part, Queen, we're still here. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Queen. Thank you so much. I'm going to come on and do a little Orisha dance. What do you think about that, Minister Ocean Kimmy? Oh, here's the link. Ashe, ashe, ashe. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you, Egun. Thank you. Woo. Love you all so much. I do pray to you.